get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Fly down these two. Fly down these two. Let's go, Lordy.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Yellow.
Check.
They'll start here with Jackson.
Get tired of seeing me.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's now 3rd down.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. That's caught by Jackson. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
45's the mic. I'm coming for you. You mine. Check 45's the mic. Check 45's the mic. Come on. 45's mic.
Hey, yo, hey, go gun. Get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Here we go. 4th down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They're running it. Check. Fresno. Shoot.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Check 59. Here we go.
We gotta go, baby.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. To the outside, that's complete to Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Dog. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Back. You gon' take.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throw left side, complete to Moss. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as a wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control.
There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in this spot where they're #1.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill. And defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down. You can take him out of the play that way. You can make sure you hunt him up and make sure that you have him covered downfield. They do a much better job of it. He's got to learn that the speed has changed on this level.
A big play there for KC. 76 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the Falcons' 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Let's go. We got this. We got this.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Watkins alone on the left side. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses, It's understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Slap.
On first down, Benjamin. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
44, Mike, 44. We own this.
Operating from the gun, Love. His throw incomplete.
To the sideline and incomplete. It's 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
On 3rd down, Love buying time to his left. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know about it helping at contract time. You could have kicked that. He's got a man. Complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 46 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the run, this is Jackson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Mahomes to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Sponge!
Mahomes throwing on 4th. This is caught by Jackson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes flush to his right, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tack McKinley, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I got it. Smoke. Right there. 54. Right there.
Hey, 43.
Good. Watch the twist. Hey, watch that.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Mike 54.
15.
Check curl. Box try. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Working from the gun, Mahomes gets this one to Hill. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Yellow. I'm the blue lady.
I'm coming after you.
They'll run on first down. Jackson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Yellow. I'm the lady.
Go. Big edge.
Check 13.
Check 13. Jam. Check.
And some space here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick by Butker is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. On 1st down, Benjamin. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. This one caught by Ridley.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the 1st half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Love. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Looking to throw. Love completes it to Benjamin. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 24-yard touchdown. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal, give yourself a lead going in.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Throwing to start the drive. Love. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yellow.
Mike, 36. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Watch soon, fellas. Let's go. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Mike, 36. Mike, 36.
Mahomes now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
On the default. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, here we go. Check 99. Check 99. Check 37. Check 30.
Attack. Hey, 57, 57.
Check 3. Check 52.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And he rifles one incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that
one. The throw left side to start the drive is complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Love. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
44.
To throw again. Love. He's got Hooper on the short connection. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Love. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Blue down, blue down.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shane Ray able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows the blitzers to get there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can attempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moss. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At their 48-yard line.
Yellow.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Yellow.
45.
Hey, color.
Mike, 45. In your face. 45's the Mike. 45's the Mike. Big stop.
Delta.
Let's go.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
45.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Here we go. Check.
Now here's Mahomes. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, and it's third down.
Yellow. There's a wire, right?
You got nothing today.
15.
Mike, 30. Orbit. Line 36.
Mahomes to throw once more. It's Hill, complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his third field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter, and the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost... It got his man complete! And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost try to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Good for a Kansas City Chiefs first down.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here and this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Extra point right down the middle. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Myles Jack. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check Mike 45. Oh, yeah.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Yellow.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Attack, attack.
36. I know he ain't got.
All right, go.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vic Beasley. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll run on first down. Benjamin. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm going to run you over. Showing it. 36. Go on. See it. Alert 3. Let's go.
Now a give, right side. Benjamin. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Hauschko with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
45, Mike, 45. Scene 6. 45 is the Mike. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Hey,
now Mahomes. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He may try and run for this. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They run. It's Williams. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Mahomes going to throw. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on fourth down, but they ran it. They got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Hey, 15.
Haywood. Mike 42, Mike 42.
Mahomes throwing on fourth. And it is incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
Here we go. 60 out block. Nice, sweetheart.
Off the play fake. Love. Caught by Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Love. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Let's go now. Can Lobo. Watch the run. Hot.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Check the backer, check the backer. Check. You're out. Lucky. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hustle. Let's go. Hustle.
They're going to run the jet sweep on third down. Shifts by him. Fights through, and now a crease. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Throwing on first down. Love being chased out left. Powers through to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On second down now, Benjamin. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on third down. Love forced out to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that will get them one closer. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's caught by Jackson. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And this is caught by Watkins. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Let's go on, 80. Yellow.
Mike, 54. Let's go, defense.
One final try for Mahomes. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Sets up 4th down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
On Sunday.
45. Mike, 45. Watch the run. 45's the Mike. 45's the Mike.
15.
Guys, out of time. Let's get off the field.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Falcons, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.